Over the span of our existence, we humans walk the earth and are living carefree. We have evolved to adapt to our current situation and environment, too much so that we have improved our living conditions to the point that some of us don't even move around anymore. Science, as we know, stamps this space that we're living in with the remnants of our civilization, whether it's underneath the earth, on the earth, or in space. These remnants sure stay for hundreds of thousands of years, but certainly they will disappear over time. Given that historical evidence may disappear into space or the earth after millions of years, how will we ever be able to prove that we are the first civilization to have ever existed? Join us as we travel the Silurian Hypothesis and whether we're just remnants of the earlier civilizations. Welcome to Top 5, where we bring you things that will blow your mind. These include demystifying things that have never crossed your mind. If you're new here, make sure to watch the entire video to not miss any important information, and make sure to subscribe to our channel to help us grow and continuously provide these amazing content. According to the long-running British science fiction television program Doctor Who, the Silurians are intelligent reptilian humanoids and served as the inspiration for the Silurian Hypothesis. The episode claims that humanity erected a nuclear power plant on top of their habitat by accident, arousing them from their 100 million-year sleep below the ice. Well, it's not really our fault though, right? Since progress is kind of in our human nature. So as a result, some of us don't really care how we obtain resources. We just attempt to collect as many as we can, resulting to disruptions, destruction, and in this case, disturbance that resulted to the awakening of such fictional life form. I suppose we might say that we are self-centered. However, this behavior doesn't actually give rise to the notion that our civilization will end one day as well. Or does it? Let's give you an example. I'm sure that you have watched some documentaries of ancient architectures at some point in your life. Some of you might have traveled to these places. What we're trying to say is that these ancient ruins have existed and prospered over a period of time in the past. People have lived their lives the way we're living ours now. You know, going to work, fishing, farming, to some, living their best lives. Minus the technology, probably. If we're gonna look at some of these ancient architectures, like the ancient Egypt, we can agree that what we see now are just remnants of its former glory. Thanks to modern technology, we now can see a comparison of how they progressed in the past and how it turned out over a period of time. This is also in the case for other ancient civilizations like the Incas, the Aztecs, the Romans, and even the Mayans. So, as you see, it's only been hundreds of thousands of years, and yet what we can only do is speculate from the remains that are left of earlier civilizations. Now, the Silurian Hypothesis states that human beings might not be the first intelligent life forms to have evolved on this planet. That if there really were precursors some 100 million years ago, virtually all signs of them would have been lost by now. Some of you might be asking, how about the fossils of the dinosaurs that we found that were about 100 million years? The thing is, they lasted longer than 150 million years though. That's significant because it goes beyond determining how ancient and how extensive the remains of this fictitious civilization would be. Additionally, it relates to how long it existed. In a remarkable short period of time, roughly 100,000 years, humanity has expanded over the world. Our chances of discovering it in the geological record would be much lower if another species did the same. So, better questions are, what would be the geological fingerprint of the Anthropocene, and would it differ compared to other known events in the geological record? Would it be possible to distinguish an industrial cause from a climate event? Although there have only been modern humans for around 300,000 years, life has lived on this planet for over 3.5 billion years. There are still 3,499,700,000 prehistoric years that are unaccounted for, more than long enough for more than one pre-human industrial civilization to emerge and then collapse. According to the hypothesis, it's feasible for civilization to have entirely vanished and for their artifacts to have been buried for a very long period. Could there be proof that aliens in the distant past established an industrial civilization before our own? But before we tell you, make sure to hit the subscribe button before you forget its existence. If you already did, then we thank you for your love and support. Going back, the idea of having aliens before our own may sound absurd, but it really is not. On the geological timescale, we've only been here for an instant. An industrial civilization has only existed for a fraction of that instant. If humans went extinct tomorrow, the relics of our society wouldn't last very long. As far as we can tell from our understanding of evolution, humans have existed for, again, 300,000 years. Well, approximately. That is 1% of the period of time we arrogantly refer to as history. And throughout a portion of that period, humans have had the technology to leave the planet, as well as to obliterate other species and destroy ourselves. As a matter of fact, because our impact is so great and varied, we have introduced a new geological time period in Earth's history. Its name is the Anthropocene, the human epoch. But what traces of human civilization would future scientists find from the Anthropocene epoch? Well, according to a recent NASA study, there are a number of reasons why people won't leave fossil evidence as dinosaurs did. Most individuals have their bodies burned or buried in soil where the bones naturally break down. According to the findings, there may not even be any significant human fossils left within a few million years. In fact, according to other studies, the PETM eras, such as the one that occurred 56 million years ago, would have left behind remnants of a long-gone civilization, like increased amounts of coal and oxygen. In The Time Traders by Andre Norton, it is suggested that glaciers, volcanic eruptions, and deterioration may have eliminated the majority of the Earth's prehistoric advanced civilization's tangible artifacts. So the next question is, would it be possible that future intelligent species will walk the Earth without finding traces of us? If so, would it be possible that we, humans, are not the first civilization with comparable intelligence? The conclusion is that, although human effects on the planet will likely be noticeable, it will likely be difficult to tell it apart from previous events in the geological record in many aspects. Although there are little odds of discovering direct evidence from a civilization like ours, abnormalities in the sediments such as microplastics and nuclear waste may provide indirect evidence. According to the late astronomer Peter Nilsson, time will wipe out all, or most of, our traces. Some new civilizations or races will find traces of previous ones, and some will not find anything and hence not know anything about the existence of humans. This is due to the fact that durable things would gradually wear away and everything organic would decompose, becoming a part of the earth. Sand would be formed from glass and porcelain, while unique mineral deposits would be formed from steel girders. Satellites would deorbit and burn up in the atmosphere. On the ocean below, shipwrecks would gradually disintegrate. It is conceivable that intelligent life is essential, but is intelligence genuinely beneficial to the process of evolution? It won't be essential in a stable environment, only when dramatic adjustments such as, say, climate change, since future development will be to better fit your niche. According to this perspective, humans may be the first, last and only intelligent high-tech species to ever exist on Earth, since it may take a very long time for a new intelligent race to emerge. This implies that nobody will be seeking for our fossils, whether they're present or not. So, the takeaway from this fascinating study is that there is, in fact, a way to look for ancient civilizations that could have existed millions of years ago. We would need to have more equipment more advanced than what we have now. The technology that we use now can actually be helpful in proving the existence of previous civilizations. The only problem is, we have to know exactly what we're looking for. I guess this will be the problem for the next civilization after us. This brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed what we had for you today, don't forget to give a thumbs up and make sure to leave us a comment while you're at it. Also, make sure to hit that notification icon to be notified of our next video, since we'll be talking about topics that would raise the eyebrows of most, if not some people, and make others question what they already know.